Last week we talked about the problem with needing to correct people. This week we're going to talk about the need to correct people. Well, good morning and happy Monday, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Mission Zero. If this is your first time here, my name is Shawn, and this is Battle Cry, the show where we give you a motivational theme that'll carry you through a more positive week. So, like I said, the last thing that we talked about was the need that some people have to correct people and how that's really kind of the downfall of civilization, this need to tell somebody why they're wrong. But the flip side of that is that sometimes you do need to correct people. So let's talk about when that's okay and how to approach it. The first thing is to identify when someone needs correction, right? This is like, hey, you're about to run into a tree when you're driving with them, or, somebody who's about to enter into a relationship with an abusive person, and just that's not going to end well. The thing is to identify what is the error, what's the nature of the error. If somebody said the wrong word or used the wrong grammar, very unlikely that that's a thing that needs to be corrected. If somebody just has a difference of political opinion, very unlikely that you need to be the one to voice that. But there are these times when the impact of something someone's about to do can be vast. And those are the times that a person needs education, needs correction. Well, the second piece of the corrective cycle, if you will, is identifying if you are the person to give that correction. I've talked about this in the past, but the only way that a person that you're talking to can receive what you're saying as educational or corrective is if they can identify that it's coming from a place of love, a place of wanting to help them improve, not a place of wanting to push them down or just smack them for doing the wrong thing. So you have to evaluate, do I have the relationship with this person where they will be able to see what I'm doing as a valid and edifying correction? Or is this a person who doesn't really know me or doesn't really like me, and I'm about to issue some statement that they're immediately going to reject? If it's the latter, right, if you have that bad relationship, you're not the one to give the correction. If it's somebody you don't know, there's latitude there, right? You can adjust your presentation to ensure that they first know that you are looking out for their best interest. And that leads to the third piece, which is kind of how to do it, how to approach it. You never want to start off with, let me tell you why you're wrong. You never want to start off with, hey, stupid. You never want to come at it from a position of, let me tell you how I've managed my life, right? That haughtiness, that kind of condescension is not convincing anyone of anything. And so the presentation of that correction, that education, has to come in a friendly way, and in an informative way, and in an absolutely non-judgmental and disarming way. You can't just bust into your kids with, I forbid you to date that person, right? You can play that card. It's not going to work out very well for you. The card that you need to play is that, hey, can we talk? I have a real problem with kind of what's going on here, and I think that you're not really looking at this clearly, right? There's ways in language to approach people that is very gentle, that is very soft and subtle, that you can then convince them to see the truth of their actions. The key that I'm hammering at here is this idea that some people absolutely do need correction, and it does fall to you to have this responsibility to help enlighten them. But how you do it is extremely critical, because if you're really trying to build that person up, if you're really trying to help them, then you've got to be willing to sort of navigate the defenses that they've built up over a lifetime of being told that they're wrong and having their failures stigmatized. You are taking on the responsibility to disarm that. Last week was sort of paint with the broad brush, stop needing to correct people, because that's about what's inside you, that corrupt need to correct people. But this week we balance that with there is often a need to help someone see the better path, see the consequences of their actions and choose a different path. And that is about overcoming the innate defensive responses in them. And so that's my exhortation for us this week is as you find those opportunities where, no, it really does make sense to help someone avoid something bad that they're about to get into, ensure that you're not thinking about you and how you want to say it and the thing that you need to educate them in, but think about what they are going to hear when you bring that up. Think about the ways that they might hear it that you don't mean and account for that, right? Be the disarming person who says, hey, look, I'm not trying to attack you here. I just want to give you some information. Because that's the hook, that's the hinge that will allow a connection, a real connection to be established between you that can grow the both of you. Rather than making it a teaching thing, a level setting thing where you're up here and they're down here, right? It becomes a collaborative, and that's what we're always looking for. That's what society actually is. I know that it's telling you a little bit of something you already know, but I think it's really important to think about it in a different context, to ask yourself in these times, if you really do have their best interest at heart, and if you're considering their lives and their feelings about it when you approach it. So I hope that that has value for you, and I hope that you have a fantastic week. I hope that you can hang on to that this week and use it to really brighten your life and the lives of those around you. And I love you so, so much. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you later.